All right, so you're thinking about moving to Sacramento, California in 2026. Listen, before you make that move, you and I need to have a real conversation right now, because everyone online is going to tell you that Sacramento is all sunshine, affordable homes, and easy California living. But there are things that people forget to mention until you're already here. And trust me, you're going to want to know this stuff ahead of time before you fall into the wrong area and completely regret your decision. Now, here's the crazy part. Sacramento is one of the fastest growing metros in all of California right now. But the real story behind why so many people are moving here, why some people regret it, and what's actually changing heading into 2026, that's the part that nobody breaks down the right way. And look, we've helped tons of families relocate here. We've seen the good decisions, the bad decisions, and the bro, why did you not tell me these types of moments? So if you're even considering Sacramento as a landing spot, this video is going to be the cheat code you wish you had before making that decision, because the Sacramento that you think you know is not the Sacramento you're about to walk into. And I'm also going to break down the top 5 relocation mistakes that I see people make over and over again. Some of them happen before they even get here. So let's jump right into it. So let's zoom out for a second, right? Why Sacramento in the first place? Why are so many people still packing up and moving here even in 2026? And here's the truth. Sacramento isn't just growing, it's becoming one of the most important metros in all of California. The Greater Sacramento region is outpacing the Bay Area right now in the semiconductor job growth, and it's expected to exceed state average in the GDP growth, job creation, and attracting young talent. And it makes sense, right? When you look at the job market here, it stays strong, even when the rest of the state starts to slow down. Now we're talking healthcare, state government, tech, life science, clean energy, logistics. You've got a ton of options here, and it's the whole spectrum. And here's what's really exciting. Sacramento is developing Aggie Square, a $1 billion innovation district from UC Davis right here in the Oak Park neighborhood. We're talking cutting edge biotech, medical research, startup spaces, student housing, and community spaces all in one campus. This is bringing thousands of new permanent jobs and billions in economic activity to the region. And that's just one project. Sacramento State just announced a massive downtown campus project with Meta pulling up $50 million to help transform state office buildings into a mixed-use development with student housing, an AI center, a school of public affairs, and even a boutique hotel. This is going to completely change the feel of downtown Sacramento. And then over at the rail yards, construction is already underway, and the new Republic FC Soccer Stadium, a 12,000 seat venue expandable up to 20,000. Plus there's a live music entertainment venue coming, Kaiser Hospital campus, housing, retail, and a public market. The rail yards is set to basically double the size of downtown Sacramento. And here's the thing, 2026 is bringing massive events to Sacramento. We're hosting the Women's March Madness, Sweet 16, Elite 8, all at Golden One Center. And in June, the X Games is launching right here in Sacramento, and it's the first stop of their brand new global tour competition. The city is on a completely different trajectory right now, and that's the big reason why families, young professionals, and remote workers keep choosing Sacramento to land in. And for those of you coming here from the Bay Area, Southern California, or even heck out of state, Sacramento still gives you a level up lifestyle to that income balance that most major cities just can't match. So you're gonna get the space, you're gonna get the opportunity, and you're gonna get the perks of big city living without the constant chaos. The Sacramento you see in 2026 is not the Sacramento from even 3 years ago. And depending on where you're coming from, that can be a really good thing or an overwhelming thing, but it doesn't have to be. And that's where we come in. My name is Lance with the Living in Sacramento YouTube channel, where we help people from all over the country move, live, and relocate to the Greater Sacramento Metro. Whether you're coming from the Bay Area, Southern California, or from completely out of state, we've been through this process hundreds of times. No one has boots on the ground in Sacramento like our team, and no one shares the in-depth insights of what it's actually like living here that you'll find on any other channel. So if you're thinking about making the move to Sacramento in 2026, feel free to reach out. All of our contact information is going to be down in the description and pinned in the top of the comments. No pressure at all. We're here whenever you're ready. All right, so here's the part that everybody worries about, right? That's the housing. Because if you're moving to Sacramento in 2026, the market is what I like to call perfectly balanced. We're not in the pandemic madness anymore, right? Where there's $100K over asking price, waived inspections, or what I like to call the desperation Olympics. That's all said and done. But we're also not in the bargain era either. That means the median sold price in Sacramento is sitting right around $535,000, and prices have been holding steady, even showing small gains. The California Association of Realtors projects prices statewide to increase about 3.5%, and that's actually great news for buyers. Inventory has jumped up to a 3-month supply, which means we're moving more to a truly balanced market where buyers have a genuine negotiating power. Mortgage rates are hovering right around 6%, and most experts are saying that 3% isn't coming back anytime soon, but 6 is a lot more workable than 7 that we saw last year. Now, some builders and sellers are even offering concessions or rate buy downs, which can help buyers get into the low 5s. And here's the real advantage of Sacramento. This region continues to act as a relief valve for the Bay Area, which keeps the demand steady and the market stronger than a lot of other metros. We're still seeing roughly 20,000 people net moving into the region, and that demand isn't slowing down anytime soon. Now, here's where the number one mistake comes in, and that's obsessing over the house way more than the location. I see this all the time. Someone finds a gorgeous home online, falls in love with the kitchen, the backyard, the price, and they jump on it. But they didn't research the community, they didn't feel out the area, and within a year or two, they're sitting there going, man, we made a huge mistake. Sacramento is massive and every pocket has a completely different vibe. You have to match the area to your lifestyle, not just the house. The bottom line in Sacramento for 2026 is a normal, steady, no drama market. Not cheap, not crazy, just balanced. And if you're renting right now and watching and waiting, this might be honestly your best window to jump in. All right, so once you've made the decision to jump in, this is where things get really exciting. Figuring out where you might actually want to live is going to be your number one priority. And here's the cool thing about Sacramento. The metro has a lane for everybody. You're not stuck with one type of lifestyle. You can go full city vibe, you can go suburban comfort, brand new master plan perfection, foothill serenity, or even riverfront living. Now, whatever flavor you're looking for, Sacramento probably has it. So if you want that walkable urban feel, you're gonna be looking at Midtown, East Sac, Land Park, or heck, even the R Street corridor. Think restaurants on every corner, coffee shops, breweries, and a nightlife scene that's keeping you busy. These are all pockets that feel very alive every single day of the week. Now, if you want that suburban space or convenience, there's a ton of options. We're talking Roseville, Rocklin, Folsom, Dorado Hills, Elk Grove, and heck, even Natomas. Areas where you have parks, trails, newer homes, plenty of retail, and clean, organized, everything you need within a 5 minutes type of lifestyle. Now, if you want brand new communities, this is where Sacramento really shines, right? The north, the east, and the south suburbs are full of master plan communities with amenities that feel like vacation resorts. We're talking pools, clubhouses, trails, playgrounds, community event centers. West Roseville, Folsom Ranch, Rancho Cordova, West Sacramento, Elk Grove, there's new construction going up everywhere. And if you want that foothill escape, Dorado Hills, Cameron Park areas, heading up towards the Sierras, you're gonna get trees, the views, and that peaceful vibe that makes you feel like you're on a permanent getaway. And if you ever wanna be near the river, Sacramento has 2 rivers running right through the middle of it. The American River, the Sacramento River. You can kayak, bike, walk, trails. It's the whole outdoor lifestyle. Now, the best part about Sacramento is no matter what lane you pick, Sacramento gives you options, and I'm talking about real options. The metro is diverse, it's constantly growing, and instead of trying to fit yourself into a neighborhood, you get to choose a place that fits your lifestyle. Now, real quick, if you're getting value from this video, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment below, and tell me where you're moving from. We read every single comment, we love connecting with you guys, plus it helps this video reach more people who are in the same boat as you. All right, so now that brings us to mistake number 2, and that's not having a clear goal for your move. Now, here's what I mean. A big question we ask every single client is, why are you moving here and how long do you plan on staying? A lot of people don't even think that, even though they know the answer. Hey, we're only gonna be there 2, maybe 3 years, then we're moving for a job. Or, oh no, man, we're making this home. This is our forever home. We're never leaving. Those are huge differences, and here's why. If you're only gonna be here a couple of years, you need to focus on an area with the most upside, areas that we know really well, where equity growth is happening. But if you're a lifer, then you need to hone in on that area that hits you right in the feelers, that place that just feels right. Understanding your goal can shrink your search from all of Sacramento down to 2 or 3 suburbs, or even neighborhoods, or even cities. And just like that, which leads us into mistake number 3, and that's trying to time the market instead of timing the area. We get this question all the time. Is it a good time to buy right now? And the answer always is, it depends on the area. In every single market cycle, there are pockets of Sacramento that see growth no matter what. And there are some areas that struggle no matter what. Some of the more established areas like East Sacramento, Land Park, Folsom, they're just stable over time and they can never miss. But the emerging areas like West Roseville, Rancho Cordova, Folsom Ranch, where all the new building is happening, that's where the future growth is. Those are the areas where people come back to and say, man, I wish I would have bought back there 2 or 3 years ago. So stop trying to time the market and start focusing on timing the right area. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the stuff that people don't put on Instagram, right? Because Sacramento is amazing, absolutely. But it's not a theme park, it's a real city with real trade-offs. And if you're moving here in 2026, you need to know the deal so you're not blindsided. The most obvious one is the heat. Sacramento doesn't get warm, Sacramento gets aggressive. July through September, you walk outside and it feels like you opened the oven to check on your cookies. It's a dry heat though, not humid like Texas or Florida, so there is that. But your AC bill during the summertime, yeah, it becomes a regular conversation in your household. But the second fall hits, the second those leaves start changing, the city becomes an absolute dream. Perfect sunsets, patio weather, and you remember exactly why you moved here. And honestly, Sacramento has some of the best spring weather in the entire country. The mild months far outweigh the hot ones. Then there's the commute situation. Now, Sacramento isn't as bad as LA or heck, even the Bay Area, not even close. But there is traffic, especially on 50 and 80 and Highway 99 during those rush hours. But the positive spin here, Sacramento is so spread out, which means you can always find a pocket close to your job, close to your lifestyle, and close to your daily routine. So if you plan it right, you can definitely dodge most of the chaos. And the airport, Sacramento International is getting a huge upgrade. New pedestrian walkway, new parking garage with 5,500 more spaces, improved baggage systems opening all this year. Now another trade-off, Sacramento is not a big public transit city. We have a light rail and it works for certain corridors, but it's still very much a car-dependent city. So can you survive without a car? Technically, yes. Should you try it? Probably not. The upside though, parking is easy, driving is normal, and you're not packed shoulder to shoulder on a train at 7 a.m. And then the cost surprises. Listen, this is California. The house price is not the final boss. The final boss is the California income tax, insurance, utility bills, and the general cost of living in California. People moving from no income states like Texas, Nevada, or Florida, they definitely get a little shocked by that part. It's not a deal breaker, but thousands of people move here every month, and we want to be upfront with you about that before you make any type of decision. So yeah, Sacramento has its grit, the heat, the sprawl, California costs, but every city does have these trade-offs. And the key takeaway for Sacramento is once you understand how it works, this place becomes one of the easiest big metros to actually live in. Now I want to tell you a quick story because this illustrates exactly why guidance matters. We worked with a family last year who did all of their research on Google. They read every blog, every forum post, they had their list of areas, and when we actually drove them through those neighborhoods, they were like, this is nothing what we read online. And then mistake number 4 happens, trusting Google research over the real lifestyle reality. Most of those blogs are written by national moving companies or SEO content farms that try to give you a true indication of what it really feels like to live here in these communities. They don't show you traffic patterns. They don't tell you about what's coming up in the areas in the next 2 to 3 years, and they don't give you the day-to-day reality. Now, the cool thing is that family did end up working with us, and when they did tell us the 2 or 3 things that they liked and didn't like, we were able to rule out about 99% of the areas that they were even considering. And when we pinpointed them to a community that they had never heard of, they absolutely loved it. And that's the difference guidance makes. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. We put content out every single week that helps you make the best decision for you and your family. All right, so now let's talk about why so many people move here and never leave, right? Because Sacramento is just one of those cities that feels big but lives really easy. You want nightlife? Check. You want quiet suburbs? Easy. You want rivers, concerts, sports, hiking, food, wine, country, snow in the mountains? You can have it all without jumping through a ton of hoops. Now the food scene here goes absolutely bonkers. We're called America's farm to fork capital for a reason. The restaurants, the farmers markets, the craft breweries, the coffee shops, Sacramento doesn't play around when it comes to food. The outdoor activities, Sacramento does outdoor activities better than a lot of places. I mean, the American River Parkway is 32 miles of trails right through the city, kayaking, biking, fishing, rafting in the summertime, and you're 90 minutes from Tahoe, 90 minutes from San Francisco, 2 hours from the coast. Sacramento sits in the middle of everything that California has to offer, and that's the cheat code right there. And if you love sports, the Kings are playing at Golden One Center, which is one of the best arenas in the NBA. We've got the Sacramento Republic, which is building their brand new stadium, and you've got easy access to Bay Area teams like the Golden State Warriors, the Niners, and the Giants. And here's the biggest thing that people don't expect. Sacramento is comfortable. It's really easy to live here. You've got the space, you've got the amenities, the choices, the mix of big city excitement and suburban convenience that's really hard to find. From young professionals to families to retirees, everybody finds their lane, everybody finds their little pocket out here. Everybody finds their people, and everybody finds the routine that actually feels good. And that's the secret that nobody tells you about. Sacramento feels good to live in. Now here's the mistake number 5, and this one is the one that ties everything together, and that's not having the right person in your corner. Look, either two things can happen. You can feel like you can swing this whole thing by yourself, or you rely on somebody's friend who recommended you who doesn't actually specialize in relocations. Now, if you're truly thinking about making the move of a lifetime across state lines or to a new state entirely, you're probably going to need somebody who's got the information that's actually going to help you make the proper decision. Not just somebody who opens up doors and wants to close the sale, but somebody who actually understands the metro, knows which communities fit which lifestyles, and can protect you from making a mistake that's going to have you moving again in a year. That's what we focus on here first and foremost, and helping you make the right decision. So let's tie a nice little bow on this. Before you make a big move, let me give you a quick checklist so you can land in Sacramento without any surprises. Number one, understand the full cost of living here, not just the rent or the mortgage. I'm talking income taxes, insurance, utilities, the whole picture. Knowing this upfront can make your life so much easier. Number two, take time to explore the metro before locking in. Sacramento is massive. Each area has its own vibe. A quick scouting or recon trip can save you from ending up somewhere that looks great online but doesn't match your life in person. Number three, check the commute. Sacramento's distance can be a little bit sneaky. A short drive on a map can turn into a mini road trip on the wrong day and time. So check your routes, check your timing, do the commute while you're here on that recon trip. Number four, if schools matter, take your time and do your research, and research those separately. Every family has different priorities, and school quality can vary even within the same city. Number five, have somebody in your corner who actually knows the area. Sacramento is big, it's diverse, and it changes fast, and having somebody guide you through all of these mistakes can make a huge difference. And if you ever need help understanding the metro, figuring out where to start, or just want to have a conversation about your situation, we would love to be your real estate team of choice. Feel free to reach out. All of our contact information is going to be down in the description and pinned in the top of the comments. Now, the great thing is about it, there is no pressure. We're here when you need us. And if you do these few things that we talked about, then settling in Sacramento in 2026 becomes a whole lot smoother. And if you're still in the research mode, we totally get it. And we want to encourage you guys to keep watching the content that we put out every week. We've created entire bingeable playlists for you, and you can check those out right here.